I don't suppose you could give me a sample of your brain tissue for study purposes.
The thing we're studying here today is the Banshee Rush, although we are going to digress some. In fact, we're going to begin digressing right now. Here we go, setting our SCVs to mine. Some people do that a little differently, and in that first second, they very diligently try to spread them out to different mineral patches manually. They try to get their actions per minute, their APM count up to hundreds, just furiously clicking away, and they have everything timed out to the second, and they think that's necessary to win. Maybe it is, but it seems like it kills the joy. It is true that you can't dilly-dally, you can't sit around, you have to have an idea of what you're doing, you have to be working all the time. Good heavens. Let's talk about what is important and what's not. What's important is having fun. What's not is getting too worked up about the game. What we're doing right now is we're waiting to get 75 minerals so we can build gas. And as it happens, we're at 75 minerals now, but we're not getting gas. Oh, we got probably 95 minerals before we started building. Now we're getting supply blocked. We need a supply depot as quickly as we can. We can do that at 100 minerals. We're at 100, 105, 110, and probably 115 before it goes down. There's a pattern here. And the pattern is we're just dawdling. We're not maximizing our efficiency. And that can be a problem. One SCV on the gas, and we still haven't moved two others over on the gas. We sent an SCV over to build a barracks because we need a barracks so we can get a factory so we can get a starport. SCV sat there, past 150 minerals. There were 160, 170, 180, 190, and then finally around 200 the SCV could begin to build a barracks. Here on Metalopolis, the other teams move it along. Player 4, well, this person, well, person might be a little charitable, is right in the game. We have to keep up. We will get another gas eventually. We'll get an orbital command. We'll start dropping mules to keep our economy up. But right now we need to start thinking about the short term, and the short term is the other side's going to send an army over to attack us eventually, and we aren't going to be building up bunkers, marines, marauders, tanks, and so forth. We're going straight to air. So we need to wall off this ramp here with buildings that take a lot of abuse, and we're already doing it poorly. The barracks and the factory don't wall it off. We're jamming a starport in here, but that's not going to work because we couldn't put down the tech lab. And so we've had to move it, and now that is part of the wall, but it's a weak port. We do have two starports going in because it really isn't all that efficient to rush to one Banshee, send one Banshee over, and hope it can do something all by itself. We want to send Banshees quickly, ideally more quickly than we're doing. Some people would have had a Banshee out a minute and a half ago maybe. But we're doing our best. We're building Banshees now. And because we haven't scouted, we'll have to send our Banshees out to the periphery of the map and just start skirting the edges. Now, like I said, some people send one Banshee out, begin harassing immediately. If they have any kind of anti-air in the base, and Terrans get anti-air really quickly, especially compared to, say, Zerg, they can hit that Banshee. Maybe you'll have cloak researched, and that cloak may hold for a little while, but your Banshee is not going to have a lot of energy to hold cloak forever. It's a really bad idea to cloak up and then go fly around looking for something. Stay uncloaked if you've researched cloak, and then use it when you're coming under attack. Banshees do tend to be a lot more effective in groups, but of course the longer you wait to build up a large group, the more likely it is the other player will come up with defenses to wipe your Banshees out, or attack your poorly defended base while you're building a Banshee force. They still haven't noticed the other base, although now as they begin to scout they'll see it. We won't see it though because we're not paying attention. They go past that, then we realize they're up there. At about the same time their army realizes they're there, worries that they're going to hit the base, heads back to protect it, sees they've gone past it, come back to attack us, but then we see the base, come back, wait for the two Banshees that are popping to go up there, and then begin a plan to attack them. Meanwhile, our base is getting pounded by Marines and Marauders. That's kind of unfortunate. However, up in their base, we have our 4 Banshees together. We haven't researched cloak, but there isn't much anti-air here to hit us. because we're busy up there, we're not paying attention back at home. And if we were, we would notice that this starport is burning. One little SCV all by itself could go over there and repair that, save that starport, but we're going to lose it. On the other hand, look at this. We're hitting this factory with banshees, and that factory's not going down. It's not even beginning to burn. Why is that? Because they have a bunch of SCVs on it. Once we turn our attention to their SCVs and blast them, that factory will go fast. They sent their army in. We ignored the Marauders because they can't hit us. We ignored the Hellions because they can't hit us. And we took out the Marines as quickly as we could. Now, down at our base, finally paying attention, we can get a starport up, but in the meantime, we've had to send Banshees out one at a time instead of two at a time, and it's better to have multiple buildings producing a bunch at once than one building producing a bunch one at a time. Oh, did you see those slackers hanging back doing nothing before they finally rambled up to get into the fight? There's nothing in this expansion, but if there was, it's fun to bounce between bases because you can do that by air quicker than the ground forces can chase you. Well, we got a little more than harassment out of that, but usually just expect to harass with Banshees. One more tip about being efficient. You may have noticed early on that we had a number of SCVs queued up in the command center. The problem with that is the command center only builds one at a time. So you spend a bunch of money on things that aren't coming for a while. You could build those SCVs one or two at a time instead and use that money on something immediately like units or new building. Well, have you enjoyed today's cheese sampler?